Ah! My name is Rudy. For some reason, you guys just tune in here. I don't know why. We talk about cardboard and the glorious past. And we try to learn from the past on what went wrong, what we could have learned from the past. And we try to understand when I make these update videos years later. You in the back, you're asking me what's the question? How long have you been on YouTube? I've been on YouTube for 10 years. And one of the beautiful things of actually being a long-term tuber of you is we get to do follow-up videos, and we get to report news, and we get to report when things update. And we actually get to share the receipts long-term. See, time's a funny thing, ladies and gentlemen. And we can all have our opinions. We all like to speculate. We all believe in different things. Except if you're on the internet, then, game pieces, everything should be free, and stores shouldn't be in business, and money's bad, evil, rawr. Rudy's like the leader of, raptor, dinosaur. Today we're going to talk about, let's start with the first thing. You all have been sending me messages, Rudy, please go back to making update videos on some of these magic sets from the past. For a while, you started telling us updates of all these Silver Age booster boxes, and you've been telling about all these collector boxes. I finally caught up with everything. Apologize for some of the delays. And we're back to doing updates. Today, collector boxes. You all want my opinion on... First of all, I didn't know this was happening. Thank you for the couple patrons that says, Rudy, please make a video. We're going to talk about a couple of collector boxes today. Yes, from the 2022-2023 bear market era, where most of you refuse to buy, Hasbro to zero, Rudy has to pump and dump, heavy bags and ball sacks, wrinkles, things. So let's start the video here. Start the video. Clock it now. 4 minutes in. Phyrexia. All will be $69. Collector boxes. All-time high. $400 a box. Less than 20 collector boxes on TCG Player. Less than 20 collector boxes on eBay. $400. Extremely shallow market. It does look like Phyrexia all will be $69. Collector boxes are going to be another $1,000 box. So following the lead of everything from Doctor Who spiking, Lord of the Rings, Green Box, and Holiday spiking, all the way to Wilds of Eldraine collectors, I think those are 600s now, all the way to Fallout at 1,000. And as we've been telling you guys, this is going to continue. The market has recalibrated. It doesn't matter what collector box you're looking at. I've told you all, and I've screamed at the camera with 30, 40 videos in the last 12 to 15 months that the market has turned and bottomed. I've been yelling and yelling, and people just people are emotional, okay? And people don't want to discuss the data. Phyrexia collector boxes at the 400s with tax, maybe over 400, 420, 430 with tax. It's still a great opportunity to buy it. No, I don't have any for sale. Please don't ask me. No, the little bit I have for the future, for myself, I'm not really wanting to sell because I told you all from the beginning, collector boxes from these good sets, like Phyrexia, are going to be substantially repriced into the future. It's happening quicker than I thought. I thought coming after that whole 2-year crash and everything being deflated, it would probably take another 2, 4, 6 years to recover and then make new highs. I didn't think it would be within 12 to 18 months. So if Phyrexia is our next one on the list, ladies and gentlemen, the shit's gone. It's been out of stock at all distribution locations and all warehouses for probably 12 months now, maybe 18 months. There is obviously no reprints of collector boxes, no matter what the internet thinks. And, well, if you don't have a position in it, even buying today from other stores and online is probably not a bad idea. Even if you paid $400 a collector box today, if these do have the price target of that $800 to $1,200 range, you're still going to do very well over the next couple years. Now, let's look at the next thing. Rudy, do you think March of the Machines is next? Yes, I do. March of the Machines collector boxes just hit a new all-time high of $300 a box after being around $200 a box for the last 6 to 12 months. So March of the Machines have also had a 30 to 50% jump in the last few months as the market continues to not be stupid anymore. People are being less timmy, less just morons, and people are realizing that, wow, Magic's not going to zero. Okay? So, March of the Machine collectors, same thing. These multiverse cards, these modern era collector boxes with serialized cards, they are all going to be repriced higher. It has been very clear. The market's made up its mind. Hasbro is leaning into it. Wizards has realized making collector boxes very rare and collectible, making very, very exotic variants, putting serialized cards, whether it's a little or a lot, it's irrelevant at this point. Collector boxes are the pretty much alternative asset class in modern Magic for sealed product. It is the blue chip thing, followed by obviously just draft and play, commander deck sets, and all kinds of other things that, well, have done similarly well. Kind of crazy. Now, next thing, and by the way, March of the Machine collectors, please don't ask, don't have any for sale. Please buy online from someone else, but I appreciate you guys always trying to give me business. Now, the next one, Adventures Forgotten Realms. Okay, so this one is being driven by a lot. Now, this one, unlike the other sets, Adventures Forgotten Realm, Dungeons and Dragons, the Chrome Silver collector boxes, does not have serialized cards. This was the pinnacle set of hype in 2021, in the boom of COVID, and the whole shutdown. If you're around other humans, you'll both implode, all that stuff. Be aware, though, this particular collector box, although with no serialized cards, this particular set, AFR Collectors, Silver Box, Dungeons and Dragons, this one is actually being driven with a lot of the Tarkir, the Dragons, and there's actually a lot of single cards. The EV has been completely recalculated, and the market has finally, after 3 to 4 years, actually turned positive on the product. You guys got to understand that. These Dungeons and Dragons, even the other set, the Baldur's Gate, Commander Legends 2, I don't even like using that name, but Baldur's Gate, Adventures Forgotten Realm, these are the two products that are actually, they've become very bull market items because of single cards. I can't say the same thing when it comes to Phyrexia, March of the Machine, Brothers War, Kamigawa, Streets. I mean, sure, they all have cards that are desirable, but specifically the AFR and Baldur's Gate has had a tremendous EV repricing because of legendary cards, Commander, Dragons, Tarkir, Dragonstorm, etc., etc. So, most likely, that makes these items more bullish. Now, I will be very blunt, and again, up front, because I know you guys don't like me saying this, but Rudy tries to make money sometimes. Fuck, did he really say that? I know, I'm sorry. I do try to make money. Now, on Adventures Forgotten Realms, this particular one, I do have an excessive position in these collector boxes. And as I've told you all, or patrons, and I'll tell you all, I do have an Adventures Forgotten Realm 2021 collector box sale coming up. I am going to sell some of my position because, simply put, my goal, I've told you all for 10 long years, my goal was always 500 to 1,000 collector boxes of every set. Adventures Forgotten Realms, I currently am sitting at over 3,000 collector boxes of Adventures Forgotten Realms. Now, some of you are going, holy shit, no wonder, fuck me, yeah. I know, I'll give you a hug with your mouth. But more importantly, the reason I ended up with this is because in the 2-year crash, when you guys were seeing all this collection buying videos, well, LGSs that went out of business and people who were angry at Magic 30 and Hasbro, everybody that was selling, when I would buy a vintage and reserve list, when I would buy Lord of the Rings or Fallout, when I would buy other sealed product, well, most people who sell collector boxes and sealed products, they have a collection. They have multiple sets of collector boxes. And the most common collector box that were in the collections I was buying in the crash for people who needed capital, stores that were failing and going out of business in the bear market, well, everybody had Adventures Forgotten Realm and Baldur's Gate collector boxes. Now, Adventures Forgotten Realm collectors, that's the reason I ended up with an excessive amount, because I kept getting more in package deals from other things. So to recalibrate my inventory, I am actually going to sell some of my Adventures Forgotten Realms. Not all of them. I just want to make it equal to the rest of mine so I can keep all my inventory equal. So, my opinion, Adventures Forgotten Realms, as of right now, is $225 plus tax. In my opinion, compared to buying Phyrexia at over $400 or March of the Machines at over $300, yes, Forgotten Realms is a lower price point. Now, I'm not going to go on camera here and be like, oh, this is why you should buy Rudy's. The reason Forgotten Realms is a lower price point is because the print run is higher and it was deemed very a negative toxic product in the crash. March of the Machines, Brothers War, Phyrexia, this other era, Kamigawa, in the streets of Capenna and Barry Manilow, all those were going out of the bear market towards the end, and they did a little bit better. So, in my opinion, if you're still a fan and you believe in collecting this stuff long term, these are all the type of products. Some you can, when I run a sale, you can buy through me. The rest of them that I'm not offering, you're going to have to buy from other people and other stores and support other LGSs. I don't think Adventures Forgotten Realms is a $1,000 collector box. So I'm going to be very blunt about that. Phyrexia and March of the Machines and Brothers War and Kamigawa, these long term, they can make a run for it. I do not believe Barry Manilow's Streets, I do not believe Adventures Forgotten Realms are $1,000 collector boxes. The market and the tilt and the higher print run compared to these other sets and the price memory and attitude and just the past, the historical track record of these products from release to today has too much turbulence. And again, you may laugh, but I think sets like Forgotten Realms and Streets of Capenna, even though they've already come up quite a bit in, $225 for AFR right now, I think they can run to $400 to $600, but I do not think it's possible for them to be over $1,000 a box. I'm sorry. As much as I'd like to say, hey, you should buy these from me. If you buy a case, I'll get you, $20 off a box times 6, so you get $150 off. I don't think they're $1,000 boxes. I think just the dynamics, even with the cards and EV rising, there's still a lot more to run, which is why I'm keeping most of it, but I'm leveling my inventory. At the same time, I don't think the sky is as high. I don't think the building's as tall as some of these more blue chip sets. I hope that makes sense. So, conclusion. Most of you out there remain very angry. I don't want to say that. That's implying most of you guys are Timmies. There's a chunk of people out there that continue to be angry at the prices, the increases. Some of you believe that with the tariffs from President Trump, all collector boxes are going to be $69,000 a box and only sold through Rudy's ex-girlfriend. That is a possibility with the tariffs. And again, she only sells washers and dryers. And in tough economic times, not a lot of people buy from her. At least that's what she tells me. She seems pretty tired, though. Anyways. So, in my opinion, I think moving forward, as you have a chunk of the population still remain very negative on Hasbro Magic, and the biggest number one complaint in Magic and the collector boxes is the pricing. There's so many people that remain very angry at the pricing of collector boxes and how expensive modern Magic is. Now, for those loud, screechy voices online, those are usually the people who buy the least, and they weren't really going to buy anyways. And if they did, they'd buy a single pack, or they'd buy the single cards you need. That type of mindset, Wizards and Hasbro, besides the fake PR that they love you and they're for the community and all that fake stuff to make you guys get that, feel good on the inside. I gotta feel good. Nobody fucking cares about your feelings. They don't care about my feelings. They don't give a shit about me. And I assure you all, the fake community stuff is a beautiful engineered thing by a corporation. So, the reality, Magic continues to boom. Collector boxes are skyrocketing. I feel like not enough people are even covering this because everybody just cares about Pokemon. That's literally the hot thing. It's just everybody just Pokemon. Destined Rivals, Rudy, new Team Rocket set. Journey Together. Should I buy it? 20% off the highs. Surging Sparks, Rudy, still all-time high. Supposed to be crashing. Reprint. In the meantime, folks, we have continuous Magic products hitting all-time high. Going up 50%, going up 100% in a couple months. And it doesn't get the attention. Even the other day, I made a video on Weiss and some of the sets. And in Weiss Schwartz, there are $50, $60 boxes hitting $90, $100, $120, $130, up 50 to 100% in 3-4 months, and nobody cares. Hey, look, nobody cares. Hey, guys, look at this, an old taco. Guess what? Nobody cares. I'll stand in front of it right now. So you can see the market is only attracted to what it feels that is important in the moment. Okay, all these other things going on, like the Magic collector boxes, these older sets, all these things happening. It's not getting the attention that it would normally get because it's being overshadowed by other things. If I talk about anything, the same thing with Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood, I'm like, hey, a lot of the single cards are getting really expensive. Like, the last 2-3 Flesh and Blood sets are going fucking crazy. Is anybody even following this? Like, you could walk into an LGS and just buy a box of, like, The Hunted or, like, Rosetta. Like, you didn't have to flip it and be an evil Rudy. You could just open it and sell the cards and you can make a ton of money. And you can have fun cracking packs. And I'm like, but again, it's being overshadowed by, the Pokemon monster kind of thing. Pocket Monster. Haha, Rudy's funny. And until the market puts front and center, it doesn't care. Even though it's like, holy shit, this stuff is booming. Back to the Weiss. Look at the Weiss situation. Tonight or tomorrow, depending when you watch this video, I'm getting ready to launch the world famous, the Nikki set, the Goddess of Victory. The healthiest of ladies with machine guns and giant weapons bigger than their hands, and people are losing their mind. Outside of that Weiss set, everyone's like, I don't care about any other Weiss, Rudy. Where's the Nikki? Where's the Goddess girls? I need my Goddess babes. Like, some of those girls can't even stand upright. Like, how, like, gravity, that does not work with gravity. But that's what the market wants. That's what the market's excited about. So I can discuss this and tell you the market's going to market, man. So that's what we're looking at there. This is me making a follow-up, letting you all know this is what's happening. Like, to also give you another idea, I just put foundation play boxes back in stock to patrons, okay? Same 118 price, 118 shipped, yes. I pay your PayPal fees, I ship and all that. Don't give me all your friends and family, which is disabled on accounts. Remember that. No fee circumvention, no give me your zip code. No, it's fucking 118. Old fashioned. There's no hidden shit. And I just put those back for sale. And I'm here to report in the last few days of me just putting foundation play boxes available for patrons whenever they want. Like, there's been 300 to 400 orders just in the last 48 hours. And I'm like, I thought this set was available for years and nobody wanted it. And Wizards thought the same way. That's why they didn't print it to oblivion, because they're like, oh, we'll just kind of reprint it and restock it, and it'll be available for wherever. And just people are going crazy. And I even did a box opening on Foundation Play last week, and I was like, holy shit, it feels like old-fashioned Magic. It really does feel like a core set. And, look at the data, folks. Follow the money. Shit's doing really well. Yeah, I know the real world and all the political, the world, the tariffs, the markets, it's very shaky. We don't know what's going to happen. You could watch this video today, the stock market could be skyrocketing or tanking. Nobody knows. But let me tell you what's going on in the card world. It's still full steam ahead. And I want people to be very clear. The spend rate in the market for this stuff is not changing in the card world. If anything, with some of the turbulence and money that fled Wall Street, we're seeing more upticks. I had a theory the other day. I almost feel like the weaker and crazier things got on Wall Street and the stock market, like I'm seeing people sell out, and like some patrons are spending more and like requesting private larger purchases and different things. And like, I don't know, I almost feel like people are moving money out of like conventional stocks because of the volatility, and they're buying Pokemon or Magic or Flesh and Blood or older cards, or I don't know. There's a lot. It's very messy. It's very murky. And just because a couple people do that doesn't mean it's a trend, but I just find it interesting. That's all. So that's what's going on, okay? I think at the end of the day, I'm going to end this video here. I think the people who are going to stay the course and do this, and I think the people who aren't going on these websites and social media and getting those mixed signals, hey guys, should I invest or collect this? No, just buy the S&P 500, like what Rudy says. Cards and, this is a kid's game. The people who kind of stay off of that stuff and don't get that shit advice, I think the people who are really, because I know there are some people out there that have made insane amounts of money in the last 12 to 18 months because of this bull market. Not just in Wall Street, but just in Pokemon and Magic. And, well, I guess even Flesh and Blood and Weiss now. Or even One Piece. Some of the One Piece sets have hit back to their highs and the older ones. And, there's been a tremendous amount of money that's been made from a select few people that probably bought during the bad times and held on. And I think it feels like 90% of the market refuses to believe that Magic collector boxes continue to rip higher. Like, they don't feel like it's real. Or they're angry that it's happening. Because it goes against the narrative, I think. It frustrates people. And again, I get it. Some of you out there, you have massive hatred towards Hasbro. I get it. You're talking to a major shareholder of Hasbro here, and I did buy more Hasbro during the crash and the dip in the last few weeks. So, legally, I will tell you all, I'll disclose, I am now at, over 20,000 shares of Hasbro. I mean, I have a massive position in Hasbro, just alone. I like the dividend. And I guess before I end the video, just a final thing. You guys are going to ask me, yes, Tark here, Dragonstorm collector boxes are going to be 500 to 1,000. Short term, 500. Long term, they're going to head to 1,000. It's a brand new product. It's already I think it's already, 400 with tax, or maybe over by the time you watch this. It's going to be a $500+ box, and by next year, it's going to be pushing towards 1,000, and easily in 12 months. Maybe that slows down if we get a crash, and all that's going to do is delay how long it takes to get there. It's still going to get there. Even when you slow things down or hit speed bumps, these products and these limited items, they want to go in that direction. You can have speed bumps, we can have dips, but they want to run that way. And the natural direction is that. It's like water. We talked about that. And, even the commander decks. I told you guys, Tarkir Commander, older Commander, even like specialty products, Phyrexia, completed bundles, the finish line bundles, all these specialty things, even older stuff, there's tremendous opportunity in this market. And a lot of people are going to make a lot of money, while the majority of people continue to be very upset by it. And the same thing's going to happen with Final Fantasy. Like Final Fantasy collector boxes, people are all wound up. Rudy, I'm hearing pre-orders of Final Fantasy collectors at 700 plus tax, almost 800 on TCG Player. Okay, then don't buy it. If other people are buying it like crazy, other people think that's the price. That's what the market says. If you think it's a rip-off scam, then don't buy from all the people selling it right now. But if you want my honest opinion, anything below $700 a box, I would buy it. That's my opinion. It doesn't matter if store costs $300 a box. Do you really think stores are going to get 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 collector boxes? Every store in the country is literally like, give me as many collector boxes as you can get. It's going to be a Pokemon situation. Most stores are going to get 6, maybe 1 case of 24, maybe 2 cases, maybe a big store gets 100 boxes. It's nothing. This is nothing. The demand of people who want a Final Fantasy collector box, there's probably going to be over 1 million people alone who want just a sealed product. Like, there's not 1 million collector boxes of anything. And then you factor in evil investors who are going to buy cases and hoards. Like, it's just, I'm telling you all, this is something that, you can be angry. Vote with your wallet. Don't buy it. But the market is going to tell you what it's worth. And all these pre-orders on Final Fantasy, between $650, $750, even almost $800 with tax, that tells me what people think right now. Even if you don't like it, or I don't like it, I have no idea how many I'm going to get. All I can tell you is that's a product that you need to reserve from multiple places. Because even when I run my patron sale, it's going to be limit 1 or 2 boxes. I'm not going to have thousands of these things. Nobody is. It is what it is, man. Now, of course, commander decks and the play boxes, I can help you guys with that with a larger supply. But, these specialty things, it is what it is, man. And I think the sooner people accept that the market is their friend, the trend is your friend till the end, I think it's easier to deal in this industry. A lot of people they're very resistant to what's going on with the prices on collector boxes and commander and play. And even in Pokemon, people are just resistant. I still have patrons that are like, Rudy, I refuse to pay $260 for Surging Sparks. I'm still waiting for the dip. I mean, maybe the dip comes, but if it doesn't, you literally are going to be just waiting years for a dip. And it's just, move on with your life, Thanks for watching, folks. Have a beautiful day out there. Always do your own research. Stay off social media.